isn't fair.
What is up, you guys? Gold Pony here today in the 2017 Volkswagen Tiguan, courtesy of Faulkner Volkswagen in Mechanicsburg, PA. And so starting with pricing, there are, of course, a few different trim levels available on this one. First off, there's going to be the S. That one's going to start at $24,995. Then there's going to be the Wolfsburg, which is the one I have today. That one's going to start at $30,095. Then there's the Sport for $32,605. And lastly, the SEL. That one's going to start at $34,500. And then pricing is for the front-wheel drive version. So if you did want to go with the 4Motion all-wheel drive, which I would recommend, and that is the one I have today, 4Motion all-wheel drive is going to add $1,975 to all those prices. But anyways, regardless of the trim level you have, that power plant is going to be the same. That's going to come from a 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine, putting out 200 horsepower at 5,100 RPM and 207 pound-feet of torque, available at a very low 1,700 RPM thanks to the turbo, of course. And so that power is going to be sent to the ground through a 6-speed automatic transmission with sport mode. Basically what the sport mode is going to do is you just slide the shifter to the very back, and as it just did, it just downshifted for me. But basically it's going to hold the RPMs a little higher so you can get a little better acceleration, and if you want to, have a little more fun. But speaking of having a little bit more fun, let me do a quick little acceleration here from a standstill. See how quickly we can get the Tiguan here up to speed. Not too bad, actually. For a small SUV, this thing's got a pretty decent amount of pickup. Anyways, as far as miles per gallon goes, that is going to come in at 20 in the city, 24 on the highway using premium fuel. And as far as visibility goes, definitely not too bad. This is a smaller SUV, so it's definitely not bad at all. I have a huge rear window back there. I can see perfectly fine out of that. Side mirrors are also good to go. And there are power adjustable side mirrors, of course. That button's going to be located on the door panel here. Definitely easy to use there. But another thing, as far as the rear visibility goes, looking up into that rear view mirror, another thing I love about Volkswagens is the rear view mirror is coated in white, so it gives it a little more character. And that's definitely a Volkswagen thing, but definitely something that makes this one more unique. So big fan of that. And then as far as ride quality goes, I do want to mention now, I am in the Wolfsburg trim today. And I'm mentioning that because there are several different wheel sizes available for the Tiguan. And the Wolfsburg trim comes with 17-inch wheels, which is kind of right in the middle of the pack as far as wheel sizes go. And I gotta say, I'm a big fan because not only do they look good, but the 17-inch wheel size gives you a little better ride quality as opposed to the 19-inch wheel size that comes standard on the Sport and SEL trims. But anyways, I suppose that kind of segues me into the exterior. So, starting up front, to the sides there's going to be standard halogen headlights with chip-resistant lenses. There is an automatic feature as well, meaning when you turn that on, it starts to get dark out. The car is going to automatically turn on your headlights for you, so you don't have to ever think about that. But I will say, if you go with the SEL trim, that one's going to bump up those headlights to bi-xenon headlights, get a little more visibility there. And looking up, all trims are going to come with roof rails. That is always nice when you want to throw a snowboard or throw some skis up there. But then swinging around to the side, there are heated power side mirrors with integrated turn signals. And back to those wheels again, just to elaborate a little bit, the S trim is going to come with 16-inch Portland alloy wheels. Wolfsburg trim, which again is what you're looking at today, is going to come with 17-inch Novera alloy wheels. And lastly, there is the Sport and SEL trims. That's going to come with 19-inch Malloy gray alloy wheels. Definitely looks good, but the bigger the wheel size you go, you always sacrifice ride quality a little bit. But then last thing I wanted to mention on the side, and this is, I think, my favorite part, although it's just a small detail, but yet another reason I wanted to drive the Wolfsburg trim today is because on those door panels there is a unique characteristic of the Wolfsburg trim, and that is a little logo. And I know it's just a small detail, but to me that adds so much more character to this particular Tiguan. Definitely gives it more of a German feel even, and overall I'm always a unique fan to make any car more personable and more unique. But then swinging around to the back, there is an aggressive look on those taillights. There is a single exhaust with dual tips. So as always, here is that exhaust clip. Now, since we're around back, as far as cargo capacity goes, that is going to come in at 23.8 cubic feet. But if that was not enough for you, those back seats do fold down, if you didn't have any rear passengers at least, for a ton of added space if you needed it. But then heading on up, as far as the rear legroom goes, that comes in at 35.8 inches. So for reference, I'm an even 6 feet tall. This is how much space I have going on back there. But as far as overall interior quality goes, I gotta say, big fan of the soft leather touches above the glove box there. There's also a leather shift boot, and last thing I wanted to mention, besides the little sunglass holder up here, that's pretty cool of course, there is a panoramic sunroof up above. It lets in so much more light, and the rear passengers have a view of the sky as well. Always a fan of that feature, so definitely liking that one there. But then of course you can close that entire panoramic sunroof as well if you're a vampire or you're just not a fan of light. Then heading up front, as far as the front seats go, they are going to come standard with a VTEX leatherette finish on the S and Wolfsburg trims. S trim is going to get 8-way power adjustable seats. The Wolfsburg and up are going to get 12-way power adjustable. And then on the Sport trim and up, they are going to come with leather seating. And I do see, since I'm in the Wolfsburg trim today, I do see they are heated here as well. That's pretty cool. But then checking out the steering wheel, it is leather wrapped. It's actually got a really good feel to it too. It is tilt and telescoping, so between the seats and the steering wheel, definitely able to find my perfect driving position. And as far as the startup goes, all you need to do is keep the key on, you put your foot on the brake, press the engine start button, which is located directly in front of the shifter there. And in case you guys wanted to check it out, this is what the key looks like. Still got that switchblade key. Always a fan of that. There is lock, unlock, and you can pop the rear hatch on there. And then there is, of course, the Volkswagen emblem on the other side. But anyways, as far as those gauges go, they are going to come in a clean black, white, silver finish. Tachometers on the left, speedometers on the right, and then front and center is going to be your time of the day on the top, along with the temperature on the bottom and the digital speed front and center. And of course, there's a bunch of different stuff you can scroll through there. So I'm going to let you guys check that out right now.
And I wanna be the one you love. The story's been told for me by the stars above. Told to me by the stars above.
But then front and center is going to be the touchscreen sound system, and as far as that sound system goes, that is going to come standard with 8 speakers. However, on the SEL trim, you are going to get a Fender premium audio system with a subwoofer. And so before I continue, as always, let's check out that sound system, see how the 8 speakers sound on this awesome Wolfsburg trim we have here. I don't know why, but the chickiest music is always on when I turn on the sound system of these reviews. It's always works out that way. I either get Justin Bieber, I get Ellie Goulding. And actually, the 8-speaker sound system here is pretty good. I definitely turned up the bass just a little bit, made it sound even better, and it's definitely loud enough for the Tiguan as well, I can't tell you that. But then there is a couple other things. If you hit the menu button, there's a couple other things you can scroll through here, like there's Volkswagen's CarNet app connect, so you can link your phone to the car and display some of your apps on your phone. On the screen up here, like for instance Google Maps, if you don't have the Sport or SEL trims that come standard with navigation. But then there is also the Bluetooth information as well, so you can know who's calling you, make sure it's not a solicitor. And lastly, on this screen, if you put the car in reverse, there is a reverse camera, so I can see all of the rain that's coming down in the middle of my review right now. Gotta love it. But anyways, I got the 4Motion all-wheel drive anyways, so I will be fine, and that leads me into safety. So to start, there are anti-lock brakes, there is a brake disc drying feature, there's electronic brake force distribution, engine braking assist, and hydraulic brake assist. There is a tire pressure monitoring system, electronic stability control, front, side, inside curtain airbags, and there are rear child door locks along with latch, aka lower anchors and tethers for children for the car seats. But anyways, that is about it for this one, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like the video and subscribe. Feel free to check me out on social media right there, and I will see you guys in the next video. Stay gold.
Stars above.